On Valentine's Day 1997, 6 miners are trapped underground by an explosion at the Hanniger mine in the small mining community of Harmony. Tom Hanniger, the mine owner's son, is blamed for the explosion since he forgot to vent the methane lines that caused the collapse. When the rescuers arrive at the miners, they only find Harry Warden still alive but in a coma. Further investigation reveals that Warden killed the other miners to conserve oxygen. A year later, Warden wakes up from his coma and so it begins. Welcome to Random Recaps. In this video, I am going to recap the movie. Warden kills numerous patients and staff at the hospital where he was a patient, leaving one victim's heart in a box of chocolates.
Dude! What the fuck?
Then we meet Dean Winchester, who here is called Tom, his girlfriend Sarah, his friends Irene and Axel, and other teenagers celebrating inside the mine. Why do teenagers who look 30 have a party in a mine?
I don't know. You tell me.
On top of that, the same mine where the murders happened and Tom is traumatized, so he doesn't go into the mine, but Sarah and her friends do. Sarah goes looking for Axel and Irene. A boy plays a prank on Sarah, but Warden appears behind and attacks him with a pickaxe. Sarah runs away and realizes there are bodies on the floor. Axel and Irene find her and hide from Warden. Then another boy arrives.
Hello?
Warden notices and chases the idiot, he trips and they kill him. Sarah and the others flee. Sarah hits Warden with a pole, but he cuts a girl's face with a shovel. Axel and Sarah take the opportunity to escape. Tom arrives. As they escape, Warden grabs Tom and throws a pickaxe at the truck in 3D. The others leave Tom and he runs inside the mine to hide. Warden finds him, but just as he is about to kill Tom, the police arrive and shoot Warden. They shoot him like 50 times, but he manages to flee further into the mine. Tom is now more traumatized. 10 years later, Axel becomes a cop and married Sarah. But he's having an affair with Sarah's co-worker, Megan, who tells Alex she's pregnant.
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
After that, Tom returns to Harmony. Tom is selling the mine after his father's death, which angers mine manager Ben Foley. But Tom says, "I don't care, I'm selling it anyway." Tom stays at a motel. Irene is having sex with a bald guy. Tom still has trauma, and he gets mad at the bald guy for filming her.
I am no hooker.
So he goes out naked shooting at him. Irene threatens the bald guy and throws the gun at him.
Bruh.
At that moment, a masked man kills him. Irene runs away and hides under the bed. The masked man enters the room. At that moment, the receptionist enters and the masked man kills her. He finds Irene under the bed and presses F for this, but the guy rips out her heart. The next day, the police realize Tom was at the motel. Tom goes to see Sarah, and she asks him where he was since she thought he had died. Tom leaves, and later Axel tells Sarah that Irene was killed. He finds the bald guy's video camera, revealing that the guy who killed her was a guy dressed as a miner with a gas mask. Axel gets a gift, and it's Irene's heart in a box of chocolates. At the bar, they argue over whether Warden returned or is just an imitator. Tom arrives, but those who blame him for everything attack him. Later, Axel, watching the recording, realizes that Tom was passing by Irene's room, and he claims Sarah since he found a photo of him with Tom in her room. The next day, Tom goes to talk to Sarah again. Tom apologizes to Sarah for leaving. Sarah claims him for selling the mine since the town depends on it. Tom goes to the mine looking for Ben. He goes inside accompanied by a mine worker. At that moment, the masked man attacks him and locks him in a cage. Then he attacks the worker. The other miners realize there are problems. The worker fights back, but the masked man kills him and leaves Tom alone.
Wait a minute!
At that point, the other miners arrive and find the corpse, and they suspect Tom because he's the only one who was there. At the hospital, Tom tells Ben it was Warden who killed the miner.
You know how crazy that sounds?
Axel arrives and is jealous of Tom. Axel doesn't believe it was Warden, since Ben and Sheriff Burke found and killed Warden after his attack 10 years ago. The group goes into the woods to look for Warden's body, but when they arrive at the place, they realize the grave is empty.
God damn it.
Tom asks the cop what he was doing in the mine, and he replies,
You're the suspect. Not me.
In the station, Tom tells Axel that Sarah only settled for him. So Axel punches him. Tom tells Ben he won't run away anymore and will find Warden. So he goes back into the mine. In the woods, someone is with a flashlight, so he decides to chase him. At that point, he comes across the cabin where Axel cheated on Sarah with Megan. Meanwhile, Ben hears a noise and goes out with a shotgun. Upon entering his house, he is attacked by the masked man, and then he stabs his eye with the pickaxe. The next day, they find Ben in Warden's grave without a heart. And since few people knew about the grave, Axel still suspects Tom. After that, Megan asks him how he ended up with Axel if he was with Tom. And Sarah tells her it was Axel who was with her during the attack. They hear a noise. The masked man stalks them. The lights go out. And I don't know why they haven't escaped yet, but it's too late because the guy arrives and tries to kill Sarah. She hits him but falls. Megan helps her. The two keep running and get into the office. Sarah calls for help, while Megan tries to open the window to escape. Megan climbs out the window, but the masked man grabs her. He tries to kill Sarah, but only hurts her. Sarah manages to escape and Axel arrives. The two look for Megan, but find her dead without a heart. Sarah insinuates to Axel that she knew what he had with Megan.
I'm not blind, Axel.
After that, the masked man kills Axel and Sarah's maid. Former Sheriff Burke realizes he's inside the house, so he goes with an officer to investigate. The child is fine. The officer finds the maid in the dryer. At that moment, the masked man kills the former sheriff. After that, Tom calls Sarah and she tells him what happened. Tom tells her he doesn't think it's Warden. Tom wants to show Sarah something. Axel arrives at the hospital, but a nurse tells him Sarah left with Tom. As they drive, Tom tells Sarah that he believes Axel is responsible for the deaths.
How? Hold on, bro.
Axel calls Sarah and tells her he thinks Tom is the killer, since Axel discovered that Tom spent the last 7 years in a mental institution. Tom asks her to trust him, and not to believe Axel, but Sarah, believing in Axel, takes the wheel and almost gets them killed. Sarah gets out of the car and runs into the woods. The injured Tom also gets out of the car. Sarah calls Axel and he goes looking for her. Sarah hides in Axel's cabin. There she finds the photo Axel had of her and Tom. The miner guy arrives, tries to kill Sarah, but she escapes through the window and runs towards the mine. The masked man finds her, but Sarah runs into the mine. At that point, Axel arrives and Sarah hits him and points the gun at him, blaming him for being the killer. Axel says it was Tom who put the photo there.
Tom must have put it there. Sarah.
Tom arrives, and Sarah no longer knows who to believe. Axel asks her to shoot Tom, and after fighting, he asks her to shoot them both.
Just shoot me, Sarah. You're still gonna be down here with a killer.
Tom mentions the way Megan died,
How did you know that Megan was dead?
revealing that he is the killer. When Sarah points the gun at him, Tom hallucinates, revealing that Tom was crazy after all.
Sarah, he's right there.
A flashback shows that he dug up Warden's mining gear and committed the murders, revealing that the miner is his split personality. Axel attacks Tom, but Tom beats the crap out of him. Axel hits him with the shovel, but Tom stabs him with the pickaxe, and Sarah doesn't do shit. Well, she shoots but doesn't hit either one.
Crud!
Tom breaks the mine lights. Sarah shoots and the bullet hits a fuel tank that sends Tom flying. And I don't know how, but he's still alive. And kills the guy who was going to rescue him.
Can you tell me your name?
Sarah and Axel are also rescued. Axel tells his partner that Tom died. Although obviously he's not dead, he just escaped dressed in the suit of the guy he killed. And that's how the movie ends.